Hi there, and welcome to this video on GCSE Biology for the AQA Specification, focusing on reproduction and in particular on sex determination. I'm Shumina from StudyMind, where we help you revise GCSE Biology with our helpful video tutorials, tailored to your subject, your specification, and to you. If you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button. Whilst you are watching, please leave any comments below if you're unsure about anything, and let us know if it's your first time watching our videos so we can send you our free revision materials. We also have helpful timestamps below for each part of the video to help guide you through the specification. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome to this tutorial on sex determination. So in today's tutorial, we are just going to be having a look at what the sex chromosomes are and how we can use the sex chromosomes in combination with risk alleles in a genetic cross. So it's going to be a really simple tutorial, this one. So you've probably heard me say about 1,000 times by now that we have, in normal human body cells, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Those are pairs, so 23 multiplied by 2, we have 46 chromosomes overall. Now what I didn't tell you before is that only 22 of these control characteristics and are known as autosomes. Now the other pair, so that one pair, is the sex chromosomes, and these chromosomes control gender. So sometimes when we talk about chromosomes, we say that we have 22 pairs of chromosomes plus our pair of sex chromosomes. So the sex chromosomes differ in males and females. So in males, the male sex chromosomes are X and Y, whereas in females they're X and X. So if we have an XY person, that's a male. And if we have an XX person, that's a female. Okay, so those are your sex chromosomes. So some characteristics are dependent on sex, and some of these might be conditions as well. So you must be able to work out the probabilities of sex-linked genetic diseases. Now all that means is that these risk alleles are carried on the X or Y chromosomes, and therefore they, as well as being risk alleles, they are also associated with sex. And so that's why sometimes you get some genetic diseases that are more prevalent among women rather than men, or among men rather than women, just because it's dependent on whether they're carried by the X chromosome, as it is here, or on the Y chromosome. So you can do this again using a Punnett square. So the biggest difference here is that the top column and leftmost row, so this highlighted one here, are no longer just dependent on the alleles. Instead, they are also dependent on the gender. So here we can see that we have a homozygous dominant male crossed with a heterozygous female. So we know this male is homozygous dominant because so these are our sex chromosomes here, the XY. That's what tells us that we have a male. Now, the fact that this is a big D, we know this is a dominant allele, okay, for whatever the risk gene is. And we're saying it's homozygous dominant because we can see that this is carried on the X chromosome. So there's only one X chromosome here, so it's always going to be homozygous because we've only got one of the alleles. We don't have both the dominant and the recessive. Whereas over here, we have our heterozygous female. So we know she's female because we have the two X's. Whoopsie, that all disappeared. So, sorry, as I was saying, so we know we have a, maybe I can do a little D like this. So we know we have a heterozygous female here because the XX tells us that she's a female, and we know she's heterozygous because she has one of the dominant alleles and one of the recessive. Okay, so that's why we're calling this a heterozygous female, but this a homozygous male. Now we're crossing the homozygous dominant male with the heterozygous female. Therefore, the possibilities in the offspring are homozygous dominant female. We have a homozygous dominant male over here. Then we have a heterozygous dominant female. And then we have a homozygous recessive male. And I hope that makes sense to you. So all I did there, you could kind of hear me figuring it out, was I had a look at the sex chromosomes. So if we have an XX, it's always going to be a female. If we have an XY, it's always going to be a male. If we have the dominant allele only or the recessive allele only, it's going to be homozygous. If we have a mix of the two, it's going to be heterozygous. And if the dominant is present, then we can work a dominant in there too. Okay, so you can use these Punnett squares in the same way as we did before to work out probabilities and ratios in terms of risk factors for the offspring. The only difference is that you just need to remember that here we can see that this risk allele is carried on the female, so on the X chromosome, whereas on the female and the male, but on the X chromosome only, whereas the Y chromosome doesn't have anything associated with it. So this big D is not found here where we have the male children. Okay? Now, that is all for today. So well done. We went through what the different sex chromosomes are, and then we also had a look at the Punnett square. I think it can be a little bit tricky to get your head around it if you're just kind of looking at it. So if I were you, I would write this row out and this column out on your piece of paper now, and then just have a look at how we got these combinations, and I think it will make a lot more sense to you then. But well done for today, and I will see you for the next session. Thanks for watching this free video from StudyMind. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to catch our newest videos by clicking below, and leave a comment on a topic you'd like a video on. Click here to watch more videos in our series for GCSE Biology, or visit our website studymind.co.uk for free past paper compilations by topic and specification.